If you're someone who struggles with being a perfectionist, self doubt, or you simply want a more peaceful life, a life where you're effortlessly going through all the things you want to do, this mindset absolutely changed my life. And this is the mindset of looking at my own life as if I am playing a character, but through the lens of love and compassion. Let me tell you how this works through a story. So, this is a concept I've been experimenting with for a few months now, but it really sank in when a few days ago I went to a bachata class in Poland. Right now, I'm visiting Poland, and on Friday, I thought, okay, you know what? I really miss the time where I was dancing, living in Austin, or when I was in Mexico. So I want to go find a bachata class. So I look online, I found the class, the whole website is just in Polish. And I use Google Translate to kind of understand what they're trying to say in English. So, according to my understanding, there's a 6 p.m. bachata class at a relatively basic level. So I go, okay, if I show up, how bad can it really be? I'm sure, if it says it's a basic class, it'll be beginner friendly. At least one person will speak English. So let me go check it out. Then I realized this place was a 40-minute walk away from my place, and I had a meeting that just ended at around 5:10, 5:15. But I thought, you know what? It's Friday, so why not just go have some fun and wrap up the week with a positive note? So I leave my house, I walk all the way over there, and right now it is quite cold. The weather's around 2 to 10 degrees Celsius throughout the day, which is unheard of for Poland. So I'm walking in the cold, a little bit of just freezing. But it's Europe. I see architecture, I see cool shops, I see people walking with their friends. So I'm happy. And eventually, I make it all the way through the 40 minutes and I go to this place, but I don't know where the entrance is. I just see this giant glass wall and then a sign saying basically the name of the dancing place. So I go, okay, is this really where the dancing is? And then I find this very small door. This just looks like an apartment building, by the way. So I see this door and I just check if the door is open. So I go through the door, turns out it's open. I go up, go to the reception. Finally, I made it to the right place, right? But then, I go to the girl at the reception and I tell her, hey, I'm here for this bachata class. How do I do this? And she says, okay, you need to have our app. I go, okay, that's fine. How do I do that? She makes me scan a QR code. And then the QR code is like, make an account with your phone number and your password. And I tell her, wait, but do I need a Polish number? And she goes, yeah, I think so. And I'm like, but I don't have a Polish number. I'm just visiting, right? And she's like, okay, just try. So I give it a try, go through the sign up process, and then eventually they have an SMS confirmation. So the SMS doesn't come to my fake number. And then she calls someone and she's like, oh, you could just put 111 and I give you the code. So even the whole sign up process was quite frustrating, which is okay. I'm excited to dance some bachata. I don't really mind it. It's Friday. I don't really have any other work to finish. So I'm giving myself the compassion, but I'm also giving this other person the compassion. And then I walk into the class, and this is where things go to the next level. So I walk into the class, they're doing some body movements, which starts off very simple. And within the couple of hours, it just goes more and more and more and more advanced. And everyone is just speaking in Polish. When I'm partnering up with someone, I say hello, they speak a little bit of English, but the instructors are just instructing in Polish. So I'm in this environment where I feel like I'm an outsider. It almost brings me back to being in middle school and being in high school and not really feeling like I was a part of the cool kids, which was a very interesting experience. It's something I hadn't really felt in a long time due to my journey of building my own life. But then, as I'm there and I'm thinking, like, wow, these people really know how to dance, like, really know how to dance. They got some great moves. And I don't really understand the explanation. Am I actually able to survive through this class? I felt like I was just bothering other people by being there. And then I looked around, and this is where this mindset comes in, right? You can use this for anything difficult, anything challenging that you may be going through in your life. And the mindset is, how would someone who truly loves me see my situation at this point in time? And what you do is you switch into that perspective 20%, 30%. So imagine as you're going through whatever this experience is, there's that 20, 30% of you looking at you from the side, observing you with complete acceptance and complete love. And when I did that in this class, I realized, you know, how many people are crazy enough to show up to a country, figure out a dancing class, go there for a 40-minute walk, and just see what happens? Even that in itself, the act of showing up, is super admirable. So I was able to tap into the sense of gratitude for the courage that I built in my own life, and then use that to actually stay there and enjoy my time more. And obviously, we're not discounting the lesson from the situation. So the lesson from the situation for me was, okay, when the class is over, go speak to one of the instructors or someone in the class and figure out which one's actually the more beginner class, because clearly these people have been dancing for a long time, and maybe the level that I'm at is more suitable for one of the other classes. So the reason I'm telling you this story is, a lot of the time, the strategies that I might share with you sound very simple, but when implemented correctly, they are extremely powerful. Imagine if you went through 365 days every single year and you had a part of you that just observed you with love. It didn't matter if you just procrastinated for a few hours. It didn't matter if you didn't meet, your gym lift for that day. It didn't matter what was happening, but there's a part of you that just loved you for existing. How powerful would that be in your own life? And also, if you are someone who likes getting things done, who likes to live a productive life, live a life of discipline, imagine how much energy you would gain back from not being angry at yourself, from not blaming or shaming yourself. You can put all that energy into yourself and channel that into your own goals. So this is where this is not just a feel good strategy, it's also a smart, very intelligent, optimized strategy to have a part of you, that 20, 30%, that's always observing your behavior from that place of love, so you can accept what's happening in that moment instead of trying to fight reality and change something, and then take the lesson from it without creating lies around what's happening, and then spend the rest of that energy you would have wasted trying to, feel bad or feel shameful or feel guilty. Take that energy and move towards your goal. And this is why this mindset really transformed my life. Because now, whenever I'm in a situation where, for you, this might be you speak to someone you're a little bit intimidated by, maybe a woman you're interested in, or you're even going for a lift in the gym and it's your personal best and maybe you don't hit it. This makes it so much easier to deal with not meeting your own expectations. And paradoxically, that allows you to eventually meet your own expectations a lot easier. So next time you're in a situation where you feel some self-doubt come up, maybe some fears come up, or you just find yourself beating yourself up, what you do is you ask yourself, what would someone who truly loves me see here? how can I have this perspective, that 20-30% version of me? How can that version go into the perspective of someone who loves me unconditionally? If it helps, you can pick a person. It could even be an animal, like one of the clients I work with. This is his dog, just loving him, which is quite nice. And you just carry that perspective through that difficulty. And then this allows you to give yourself the grace to understand, as human beings, we're not perfect, but even though we're not perfect, we are very lovable every single moment.